bakers, who doesn't want a summer dessert that can be made in 15 minutes flat? Well, I'm going to share with you my recipe for a classic no-bake banana cream pie. As always, the written recipe can be found on biggerbolderbaking.com. Okay, let's get started with our first step, which is the pudding. So here I have a heavy bottom saucepan on the stove. Into this, I'm going to add in some sugar and some flour. And then very slowly, I'm going to stream in my milk while I'm whisking. So the reason you want to whisk as you go is because you don't want any lumps of flour. Okay, this looks good. So we're going to turn this on to a medium heat, and we're just going to keep on whisking as our pudding thickens. So it'll begin to simmer, and it'll take around 5 minutes or so for it to really thicken up. So now you saw me add in some flour here. However, if you don't eat flour, that's totally fine. You can replace it with some corn flour, and I'm going to put that information on the website. So there you go. As you can see, when your pudding starts to simmer, it will automatically start to thicken. Now what we're going to do is add in our egg yolks. Now, if you don't eat eggs, that's totally fine. You can replace them with cornstarch, and I'm going to put that information also on the website. But here's what you want to do. The next step that we have to do is something called tempering. We have to make the eggs the same temperature as this hot milk mix. So with a ladle, take a scoop of your hot mix and pour it into your eggs. And straight away start to mix. This is looking good. Then just take another big scoop and mix it again. In baking, when adding two different mixtures to each other, you want to make sure that they're the same temperature, and that's why we're doing this. Otherwise, your eggs would totally cook on top of your pudding. Okay, lovely. They're nice and warmed up. Now add them straight into the pot. Once the eggs are in there, you do want to continue whisking just so it doesn't lump. Now just give it 2 to 3 minutes, let it thicken up a little bit more and let those eggs cook. So it might look a little bit soft now, but once this pudding goes cold, it firms up a lot. So don't worry about that. Okay, great. This is looking nice and thick. Now, lastly, we're just going to turn off the heat, and I'm going to add in a little bit of vanilla extract, a pinch of salt, and some cold butter. And then just whisk those ingredients in. They just add another layer of flavor, and then the butter at the very end makes it nice and silky. Okay, lovely. This is looking great. Just in case you end up with lumps in your pudding, just in case, what you can do is actually sieve it and it'll be totally fine. Mine's looking good, so we're good to go. I'm going to push it over here on the stove, and I'm going to let that cool down while we make our crust. So the reason I did the pudding first is because I want it to cool down so it doesn't go hot in on top of the bananas. That won't be nice. So that's over there. Over here, we're doing our cookie crust. So here I have some vanilla cookies for my base. Now you can use any type of cookie that you like. You can use shortbread, graham crackers, digestives, whatever you like. These are Nilla wafers that I used, and they go really well with banana pudding. So I'm going to add those into my bowl. Now here's the delicious glue that holds everything together, melted butter. Just pour that in there. And then with a spatula, go around and mix up the cookies and butter really well. We need everybody to stick together so our base holds nice and tight. So just give it a good mush. That's a technical term, mush. You're kind of going for the texture of wet sand. Okay, lovely. I just realized I have to hurry up because I've got 15 minutes. So here is the base that we're going to put our pie in. This is a cake pan. You can also use a 9-inch pie pan. It's totally up to you. This 9-inch cake pan. Here's what I do for my pies. This is my little sneaky trick. I butter them and I line them with cling wrap, around 2 to 3 layers of cling wrap. I put my base in, put it in the fridge, and then I can take out my pie fully. So this is a really good trick if you want to take your pie out of the dish. Then I like to use a spatula, a nice bendy spatula, and go around the pan and spread the cookie base around and up the sides. And just make sure it is nice and compact so your pie crust stays together. Anytime I have a pie, I don't want it to be pastry, I want it to be a cookie base. Cheesecake, any kind of like cream pie, custard pie, I want cookies on the bottom. It's like my absolute favorite. Okay, lovely, this is great. I like to pop it into the fridge for around 2 to 3 minutes, let it firm up, and then we're going to assemble the rest of our pie. So now we have all the elements for our pie ready. All we're going to do now is assemble. And I'm just going to lay some sliced banana in the base all around my pie. I use roughly 2 medium-sized bananas for this whole pie, just because you want it to be nice and banana-y. Okay, lovely. Our pudding has cooled down. Now we're going to pour it over the bananas. Pour your pudding all over the surface of the bananas. And then with a spatula, just smooth it out. Lovely. Okay, now here's the last thing we're gonna do. Lay a piece of cling wrap over the top of the pie. Now I'll tell you why. This pie is really fast to make, however, it does need time to chill out in the fridge. So for around 4 to 5 hours minimum to let it get nice and cold and for the pudding to set. We put cling wrap on top so the pudding doesn't get a skin. After a few hours, your pie will be ready to enjoy. Transfer it to your serving platter and generously pipe whipped cream on top. Some nice rosettes make your pie look really beautiful. And just so everybody knows this is a banana pie, we're going to lay some fresh slices of banana on top. So because of the fresh banana, this pie is definitely best enjoyed in the first 24 hours, which means I'm going to cut myself a nice big slice. Oh my gosh. See, this is my kind of dessert because you've got a crunchy base, you've got a really lovely soft pudding in the middle, whipped cream, and then sweet bananas on top. This is my idea of dessert heaven. Absolutely delicious. Head over to my website right now for the written recipe, and remember, if you make it, rate it. I'll see you back here really soon for more bigger, bolder baking.